Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
King's Kilt is a influence card game. You're going to start out with a base, and you'll be taking those cards based on what you're trying to score and trying to get them to the top. At the beginning of the game, you're going to have 3 families that you'll score for, and you're going to score more points the higher your families are up. So sitting on top of that pyramid, you're going to score the maximum amount of points, and as the second and third row, they'll score less points. You're going to have 3 families that you'll be trying to influence. It's possible other people will have the same families and try to move those up, and you don't always want to showcase what you're trying to do, so sometimes you'll try to bluff that out. Very easy game. On your turn, you're going to try to move your players up. So you have a base, you move them up, and you refill with a random card. At the beginning, there's an even distribution of the families, but as the game progresses, it could just depend on how they're randomly shuffled in. The game is interesting enough. It gives you some light decision-making to make. The more players you have, the less control you have because people will be moving things around. And if it's the next person, it takes 2 or 3 people to get back to you, you have less control. It's just the nature of the beast with these type of games. The game's okay. It's a light filler. It's a small diversion. I know some people are really, really going to like this game. It isn't the type of game that I'm really into. It just doesn't really fit. The theme is wonky. It's weird. The colors that are used all kind of mesh together. It fits the theme, but I don't know if the playability is there with the color scheme and the graphic arts that they use. Putting that aside, the game itself is fun enough. It's okay. It's something I think that you'll play a few times, you'll enjoy it, but you'll instantly forget about. But it could be something that you might play like 5 or 6 times in a row because you're having fun, but then you might not play it for a year. You ever had one of those where you just get really addicted to it and then you're done for a while and you come back to it and it's fine. I think it's fine. It's a game you can put in a drawer and you pull it out. You're always going to have a good enough time, but it probably isn't going to blow your mind. The theme is really weird. I don't really care for the theme. I don't know that it fits what you're doing very well, but the game is alright. And I think that if you can get it cheap enough, it's something you might want to search out, but I don't know that you should go out of your way to find this one. So for me, this is going to be a Purge. It's going to find a place in my collection, but I definitely see this game fitting for many, many players. Here's King's Kilt. It's a very small box. It fits in my hand. I don't know if it'll fit in my pocket, maybe my back pocket. It's got that kilt kind of look to it. It's what it's going for. You're going to have a rule book that will fold out. We'll take a look at that. You're going to have some cards. The cards actually feel great. My favorite type of cards. The finish on it is fantastic. You're going to have this with the word at the bottom. You're going to have all this plaid. You're going to have a few of them that will be what they call leader cards that are black back. Otherwise, they look the same. These are 2 different ones, but you can tell they look very similar at a glance. They kind of make you go cross-eyed. So I'm not crazy about the artwork that's included, but there are quite a few cards in here. You can see not enough to even fill this box up. Small box. Cards are great. I love their quality. I love the way they feel. Not crazy about the artwork. So here's the rulebook for King's Kilt. You're going to have a list of all the cards on the front with pictures, which is great. You're going to open it up. They'll be set up. I don't really like these that much. They kind of fold out like this. You have a picture of setup. It doesn't ever tell you that the ones face up. These don't go there. You build those as you play. That's further in the book, and that was a little bit confusing to me at first. I could get it after a couple of minutes, but I was kind of like, what's going on here? Here are the rules to play the game, which is pretty simple. The way these cards move, it's really hard to do with a diagram. Watching a video is really going to help out. And it gives you a picture of it later, which kind of goes back to the setup, which is really helpful. And it tells you really here how everything is going to score, and then credits. It's a fine rule book. I did have some questions. I really needed, because of the way the game is, I needed to see a video on it. That's just me personally. But everything is here in the rule book. So it's not a bad rule book. It's just maybe my learning preference for this style of game. I think it's difficult to show how things move with the rule book. Okay, to set the game up, each player is going to get a set of 2 cards. There's 8 different clans. Everybody's going to get 2 that are independent. So it would be one person will get Buchanan, and one person may get Stewart. Nobody else will have that. One person will have Macbeth, one will have a Wallace. So all 8 are represented. And then everybody will get a random one. And it doesn't really matter what you get, per se, as long as it doesn't match something you already have. So in this case, somebody may have multiple Hamiltons, but you can only have one Hamilton, etc. So I think that's the case here. And these will be your cards. So when you get one of these sets, this is how you will score. So for this player, they will score for Macbeth, Hamilton, and Bruce cards, and that is it. And everybody should have a unique setup here. Next, you're going to have 16 of these cards with the black backs. Everything else is going to have these yellows. So what you're going to do is shuffle these up, and these will be 2 of each clan, if you will. This makes sure the beginning of the game just has a good distribution. And then you will take 6 of these to form the bottom of the pyramid. And there could be doubles or whatever, but you know that each of the clans will be represented twice in the first 16 cards. You'll set this on top of draw pile, which is the remainder of the cards you didn't need for setup. And this will be set here, and then you're ready to play the game. Playing the game is very simple. On your turn, you can promote one. Now, let's say that we're playing as Macbeth, Stewart, and Buchanan. What you're going to be doing in the game, I'm going to show you in the rule book, you're going to be creating a pyramid. And they're going to score 3 points if one of your clans is on the top, 2 points for the 2 here, and 1 point each for these 3. So these are the only ones that are going to score, and that's going to be represented on these cards. So in this case, 1 point for each of these, 2 and 3 is how scoring works, and it kind of represented on these cards as the game progresses. So if I am trying to score Buchanan, Stewart, and Macbeth, I might want to move Macbeth up. And when I do, you're building a pyramid, so nothing is here. I would take one off the top of the deck and put it there, and then that would be my turn. And let's say the next player is trying to score Hamilton. He might try to move Hamilton up and then put a card up on top. Now, you can totally bluff. You don't have to move anybody just because you have the scoring card. So part of the game will be bluffing. So let's fast forward this a little bit. Let's say Wallace moved up. We got this here. And once again, I'm trying to score Macbeth. So I might want to move it further up. Then I would have to pick one of these 2 cards to take its stop. They happen to be the same. So I'll just move up a Douglas. And then I'll put a new card out on the bottom. You can only ever move a card up one spot. So let's say I wanted to move Stewart up. Once again, I can move him up there and bring out a new card. If the next player wanted Hamilton to move up, that's fine. Then he would pick from either this card or that card. Let's say he picked that card, and a new one would come out at the bottom. And now that would continue until the pyramid is full and people are out of cards. That's one possible action you have. Now, at the beginning of the game, every player is given 4 random influence cards. So 4 cards, just like the other cards you're playing in the game, except you're given these, and you can use these to move things out. So I could play this, say, on this Wallace card, and then basically I could eliminate 1 card here. Let's say I want to get rid of this Bruce card because I did not want it there, and that would be discarded. Then I would move one of these 2 up to take its spot, and then another one from the top would go. And now I would only have 3 cards to do that again. Now, in the top 3 rows, if I was to do that, I have to use the exact card. So let's say this is a Hamilton card. I'd have to put a Hamilton card down, and then I could eliminate like I just showed. So you can only do this up to 4 times in a game. So when to do this is very important and can be an important part of timing. That's the game. That's it. If you manage to have one of yours, let's say Macbeth got all the way to the top, I would score 3 points for the Macbeth. And if any Macbeth was in the second part, I would get 2 points. In the bottom, I get 1. That's the top 3 rows of the pyramid. That's it. That's King's Kilt. Who should buy this game? I think this game is going to set the world on fire for people who like card games. I think they like the intrigue of building it up. You're going to have a little bit of assassinations and be able to get rid of some cards on the board. You have 4 of those you can do in an entire game. I think light card gamers are really going to like this one. If you're looking for theme, or you're looking for a grandiose game, this isn't going to be it. But for a light card game with some important decision making, like I said, the more players you have, the less control you have. I think it's going to hit the wheelhouse for quite a few people. For me, it's a Purge, but this is when I'm saying that with a caveat. Don't let that scare you off that I don't have a place for it. I have a lot of games, but there are going to be people who really, really like this game. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel. Lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.